So you're an online influencer and you're looking for marketing tips to build your brands and your influence. Well, great news, my friend. You came to the right place because in this video right here, I'm going to provide you with 3 huge marketing tips. What's up, y'all? What's going on? I'm Frank Daniels. This is the Digital Boss Life, and what I do is help online influencers and brands with high-performance entrepreneurial strategies, marketing tips, tricks, and tactics, and I talk about affiliate marketing a bunch these days. Today, we're talking about marketing as an influencer, and I'm going to give you 3 big tips on how you can really improve that. Before I get into the tips for today, it's important to understand that in the world of marketing and business, well, everybody's kind of selling the same thing. So you're definitely not a special snowflake. And even though you are certainly a special snowflake, especially in your mother's eyes, I'm sure, the fact is that in the world of online marketing and influence, nothing's really new. We're all doing the exact same stuff. You know, the same marketing and sales principles that have existed for decades, still exist now. They haven't changed. There's like a couple social media platforms that we're all vying for attention on. Everyone's using funnels, lead magnets, or some form of organic strategy. You're on YouTube, I'm on YouTube, TikTok is hot right now, email marketing. We're all doing the same shit, man. Now that might make you say to yourself, well, Frank, there's so much competition in this. Why would I want to be in online marketing? And my argument for you is that every single industry out there is competitive. There's nothing that you would choose to do that is not competitive. And that's now including the current job market in the state of the economy as it is with all this madness going on. It's even competitive to try to get a regular 9-to-5 job. So I highly recommend being your own boss and taking matters into your own control, hence the digital boss life. It's a lifestyle and a way of being that truly emanates from my soul, not something I just made up. I truly believe this is the way that we should be moving. But in business, entrepreneurship, online business, none of us are really so innovative that we're creating this new stuff. We're all just recycling the same information over and over. Every once in a while, you might come up with a brilliant idea that's completely innovative and change the industry. But that's rare. Most of us are just copying the formula that's been handed down through generations and the current trends that are going on right now in the age of the internet and social media. And there's nothing wrong with that, because if you want to be really successful, as Tony Robbins says, you want to model success. But in a noisy marketplace, the big question is, how do we stand out amongst the crowd? And that, my digital bossy friend, is exactly the question that we're going to answer today. So let's get into the 3 marketing tips for online influencers. Online marketing tip number 1. Create and develop a personal brand. So I'm going to take you back to a statement that I've heard from many successful online influencers, and it is this: people don't pay for coaching, they pay for coaches. And to be clear, it doesn't really matter what you're selling online. It's kind of the same philosophy. The people who are following you, they're not paying for your program. They are kind of paying for a result, but they're more often than not, they're buying into you coach, the influencer, the leader. So if everyone's selling the same stuff, what is the big differentiator between you and the next guy? And that differentiator, my friend, is exactly who you are. So your beliefs, your mission, your values, and your personality. That's the thing that differentiates you from the next YouTuber or the next guy on social media selling a very similar product. So, using myself as an example, what do you know about my personal brand? Well, I talk this digital boss life stuff, right? So I'm obviously into being my own boss and living a lifestyle where I make my own rules and live online. I'm also a hip hop artist, aka Frank Diesel, the rapper. And I'll tell you, I think I'm one of the best rappers on the planet. But don't let me decide for you. I'll put a link down below. You can check out my hip hop channel. What else? I was raised by my grandparents, abandoned by my mother. My father was sick, spent most of my life growing up kind of taking care of my father. I was a great athlete. I tore my ACL my senior year in high school. I was devastated. I got off track, went down a bad path, got in trouble a lot, and eventually picked myself back up, started my own business, and became the man I am today. Now, that's not the whole story. There's plenty more about me than that. But it's just an example that someone who just heard what I said and can connect with those things in some sort of way from whatever angle they're coming from in their own life are going to hear that story, are going to see that personal brand and identify with me. And I don't have to do anything else besides give you my beliefs, my values, and my story, and then allow whoever wants to identify and connect with that to come into my world. And I guarantee if you didn't know those things about me before and you're watching this video, it makes you a little bit more interested in this digital boss life brand. So the biggest thing you can do to separate yourself from the pack is to really identify your personal story. What is your mission and your personal business values? And then you relay that message on a consistent basis to the people who you're talking to. And one of the most important questions that you can ask yourself is, what makes me different from everyone else who's trying to do the same thing? And when you come up with those answers, you want to make sure that you use those as pillars in your regular marketing message. Marketing tip for influencers number 2. Marketing tip number 2 is this thing I like to call infotainment. And in the age of the internet where everyone is an influencer, it is very important to not only deliver information, but to stand out in the pack. You gotta find a way to also entertain people. Because information is boring, man. School was boring. How many people really liked going to school? I mean, I like learning. You probably like learning, but most of the population, they don't want to learn at all. It's a struggle for them. So if you can find a way to deliver the information that you're trying to deliver and at the same time make it more easily digestible, you, my friend, are going to win. And when I see marketing and influencers who are simply providing information, I'm like, I can see why they're going to struggle. Because people have short attention spans. It's officially shorter than a goldfish. A goldfish. And those motherfuckers get flushed. And it's exactly why I structure my YouTube videos the way I do. You know, because I could have made it simple on myself and just pick up the camera and record everything in one take. But when I kind of do this, cut part by part, scene by scene, it gives me an opportunity to really think about how not only to punctuate what I'm doing here with my hands and my expressions, which is another form of being more entertaining, but also how to kind of be funnier and, make it more exciting for the crowd. It is a business value that I have in the digital boss life. Infotainment. having the ability to provide information, but also entertain the crowd at the same time so they, one, can hook on to my brand and my story, but also like have fun and have a good time with this guy, Frank, from the Digital Boss Life. They're more likely to stick on with you when you're not so bland and boring. They buy you, not the product. So figure out a way to deliver the information you're trying to deliver in a more fun and exciting, entertaining way for your following. And influencer marketing tip number 3, tell stories. I'll take you back to another big influencer quote I've heard from many successful online influencers, and it is this: facts tell, stories sell. And it also touches on the last point a little bit. You can't just throw facts at people and information at people and expect them to be emotionally touched by the stuff you're trying to sell. And if they don't get emotional, they're probably not gonna buy it. And Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels, what's his main formula that he operates? Hook the listener, reader, viewer. Story, offer. Story being the bulk portion, right after the hook and right before you sell something. Humans are storytelling and story listening creatures. It's how we've evolved to communicate. It's also the best way to bypass the conscious or critical thinking mind and get more into the subconscious emotional mind. And a buyer who doesn't get emotional is probably not going to buy. So you want to break that critical thinking part down through your stories. Your story, your life, how you got to where you are in business, the specific story of your product. And if you don't want to tell any of those, tell the stories of your clients. But for God's sakes, man, quit throwing facts and information at people left and right. If it ain't working, if the formula ain't working, you gotta use a new formula. And people connect through stories, man. And at the end of the day, what you're trying to accomplish is moving someone to a better outcome with your product, service, or information that you're giving. And the way that you can really just dig down into somebody's heart, man, their emotion, is by telling your story, the story of your business, the story of your clients, and connecting in that way and get them to make a better decision for their future outcome. And you'll notice what all these tips really come down to is knowing who you are, knowing what makes you different, and really just being yourself. When you be yourself and you be real and people can feel the authentic in you, it just helps the right person, the individual who's going to be part of your tribe, really connect with you. But if you just spit facts and information at people all day, you're going to lose them. Like your kids when they go to school. And I guarantee the best teachers that stand out to them, I know my favorite teachers that stand out to me, were the ones that found a way to connect on a more human level and take their information and find a way to entertain with it. It's the same thing in marketing and business. It's how you let your individuality shine through and just finding a way to innovate a little bit more on the delivery end. You do that, you're going to stand out in a crowded marketplace and truly attract your tribe to your movement. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's really important stuff. If you break down marketing into just a few important concepts, this will be it. So if this video really helps you out, I'd love to hear exactly how. Tell me which one of these tips really stood out to you in the comments down below. As always, I would love for you guys to smash that subscribe button I'm Frank. This is the Digital Boss Life, and I look forward to catching up with you in another video, my friends.